The Crew, Season 3, Episode 12. Previously on The Crew, 𝓗𝓸𝓵𝓭 is driving down to the ABSA headquarters just as 𝓗𝓸𝓵 and the brother drive out of the Marriott. The president walks into the CID headquarters and everyone in the front office salutes in acknowledgement of his presence. This is The Crew. I'm thinking of one day opening an online church. Alu, you shall have no restrictions. Itakuwa hata na mapoko. Kila mtu anaweza join without feeling guilty because Alu, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jesus did not come to call the righteous to repentance but sinners to repentance. For it's not them who are well that need a physician, but rather them who are sick. This is the conversation that Alu is remembering as he gets out of his iPhone and calls 𝓗𝓗𝓵𝓭. Hey buddy. At Alu. Just as 𝓗𝓗𝓵𝓭 is receiving his phone at ABSA Bank headquarters, Church Road area, next to Safaricom. Hey brother, he says the money will be in your account by today noon. Says Alu. Sawa, keep me updated. Says 𝓗𝓗𝓵𝓭 and hangs up. 𝓗𝓗𝓵 drives into the ABSA headquarters and parks in the parking lot. At that time, the DHL truck is seen on the highway outside West End Towers. He drives on and negotiates the U-turn. Back in the United States, a truth unfolds. The fake news about the death of the Queen of England. She's alive in the special hospital. Maybe they had waited for the death of the false prophet. But Catherine sponsored 𝓗𝓗𝓵's education, so they made 𝓗𝓗𝓵. But for what exactly? For these. When 𝓗𝓗𝓵 gets into the bank, they meet Charlie, Jasmine's father, in the hallway. Hello, father. Hey, Jasmine. What's up, 𝓗𝓗𝓵? Good to see you. I was hoping to expansively engage the properties. I just want you to make a confirmation on the properties. They all walk into the executive banking. As 𝓗𝓗𝓵 engages Derek in pleasantries, the DHL group is parking outside in the parking lot. They are in the DHL jumpsuits. The president could not figure out how 𝓗𝓗𝓵, headed to a burial in Nyeri, could still be the one stealing money from the CBK. How was he to explain this to the IMF? And this is why a meeting had been convened to form a commission to oversee an investigation. 𝓗𝓗𝓵 had anticipated for this. How many commissions of inquiries have ever been formed in this country? And what was the outcome in all of them? Nothing. And so he was sure and beyond doubt that this commission too will come up with nothing. Maragwe and Maranga push the safe into the executive banking area, where 𝓗𝓗𝓵 is seated with Jasmine and the father-in-law. They sign the delivery note and walk out of the office. Thank you for your services, says Derek to Tom before he walks out. Tony Almeida and Michelle walk into the CIA office, Nairobi wing. Updates, ask 𝓗𝓗𝓵. I don't think this guy is working alone. That courage is overly rated for someone working alone. Can you imagine the cohort dropped my partner in front of a police station like it was nothing? Says Tony to 𝓗𝓗𝓵, the regional CIA director. Are you trying to say that the government is in on this with him? He inquires 𝓗𝓗𝓵. That's what it all suggests. Is it possible for the government to steal from itself? I don't think so. Find out more. In the bank, Derek converts the remaining $95 billion to local currency, then prepares ledgers, accounts linking Java to Mwamba Construction Company. That will explain the sudden growth, said Derek, as he stops with the typing midway on the MacBook. We can now prepare checkbooks for property acquittance. Therefore, on that day, Ladin bought other Java houses: Java Church Road, Java GTC, Java 𝓗𝓵𝓵, Java Meru, and Java Malaba. She had worked under Java, so she knew exactly how the business operated. On top of the list that Ladin had at hand, he added Java House Industrial Area, with the reason that it had been abandoned for a while, plus it was several stories up. It would come handy. Ladin was a handsome guy with handsome thoughts. In short, he was handy. Jasmine is looking at Ladin as he explains on the check banking. Do the check banking at the original branches of opening of each company. It will be easier that way, he says to Charlie. At that time, the counting machine finishes up on the counting of the last note. In the commission, 𝓗𝓸𝓵𝓭's CS Finance stands up. Mr. President, sir, according to the findings on the conclusions results of the commission, it suggests that this is an inside job. Only that we cannot narrow down to a specific individual up until these moments. What do you mean? If it's an inside job, then that means someone working in your ministry. Find out, me, Mr. Minister, says William, then walks out of the meeting furious. To God be glory.